Are you okay with them being enforced?
You might be asking us a lot. Governors don't get to deal in hypotheticals.
Okay, so putting myself on them, these are laws. These are current laws on the books regarding immigration and naturalization.
We abide by
Is
all
there
laws
any
if due process
detainer?
is followed.
Is there any ICE detainer that you will reject? That you will instruct your law enforcement community or corrections facilities and enforcement community in your states to reject, Governor Pritzker?
We follow all laws, states.
But you don't. That's my point.
In Minnesota, there's
I want
a
you to say you
flora
will, because we hope you will, but you actually don't, and you haven't, which is why we have this horrific mess. Sad to say I'm disappointed today, but, you know, governors, Ms. Perryman, welcome to the House of Representatives. Great to have you here and hear about your thoughts and views on things. Governor Pritzker, you said, I think numerous times now, that the president broke the law. You're an attorney, right? Northwestern? Is that where you went to law school?
Congressman, yes, sir.
So just, can you cite which law in this regard he's broken?
Well, there have been congressionally approved appropriations that this president has cut off, and we've had to go to court. That's illegal. We've had to go to court to have it reinstated.
It's illegal.
It is illegal.
If you have to go to court, it's illegal, and it's still working its way through the courts, right?
Yes, but things have been ruled on already.
It's not illegal yet. It's your opinion. But regarding
when a judge rules on it, that's the law. Okay.
It's the law at that moment until the next judge rules on it. Okay. Right? Because you understand the court system. You're the attorney here. I'm not. But you're not saying he broke the law regarding the riots in Los Angeles right now, or are you saying that?
That hasn't been ruled upon yet. So,
but are you saying he broke the law in that regard or not?
I believe that he did, but that is not what I'm referring to.
Okay, you're not referring to that.
No, I just told you there are appropriations, congressional appropriations.
Because the implication, because of what this hearing is about, is that you're saying that he broke the law regarding the mobilization in Los Angeles, and you're not saying that. I want to make that clear. You're not saying that.
What he is doing is overstepping his authority, and we are going to court.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you a couple questions, because I want to go through a little walk down memory lane here in history for you. In 1794, George Washington mobilized the military. You familiar with the Whiskey Rebellion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so was Washington beyond his scope? Did he overstep?
What about inciting riots on January 6th at the Capitol, right in this building?
Sir,
well, you're asking.
I'm asking, you're saying he's breaking the law.
Yes.
Ms. Hochul,
he has broken
Governor
the law.
Hochul, you're also an attorney. How about Abraham Lincoln, 1862? Did he do it?
The abuse of power is an overreach into the responsibility
How about
of
Dwight
state.
Eisenhower? Did he do it when he mobilized?
In situations where
John
you're
Kennedy.
overruling.
John Kennedy.
You seriously don't want an answer from me. I won't even bother.
How about Lyndon Johnson, 1865, 1965 and 67, and 68? Is that, you're saying that's against the law? What the president is now doing? Are you guys? You're the attorneys here, and I'm not talking to Governor Walz here because he's not an attorney. He called himself a knucklehead, so I'm leaving him out of this right now. Are you guys familiar with sections 251 through 255 of Title 10 of the U.S. Code?
The conditions under which a president may usurp the authority of a governor in activating the National Guard is under an invasion or an insurrection. I would argue that neither one of those.
Governor Hochul, I would refer you to Section 253. I'm not going to bore everybody with reading it for you, but you're wrong. And to accuse the president, quite honestly, that's the least that you've accused him of. You've also, in this room, he's been accused of being a dictator, maybe not by you. And if you're willing to say he's not one, we'd love to hear it. But also that the law enforcement agents are Nazis with Gestapo-like tactics. Governor Walz, you mentioned that in a commencement speech. Now, let me ask you, I'm going to ask each three of you this. 8 CFR 287.7. It arises from the Secretary's power under Section 103A3 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, the INA. So do sections 236, 241, 287. Are those things laws that should be followed and enforced? Are you okay with those things being laws and enforced or not?
For federal immigration laws are designed to be enforced by the federal government.
So you're okay. You're okay with that? Is that each one of you?
The state cooperates.
I don't know what you read. I don't have that in front of me.
These are laws, Governor Walz, that are on the books. It's the Immigration and Nationalities Act, and those are sections of them, as is 8 U.S.C. 1226A, 8 U.S.C. 1357A2, 8 U.S.C. 1357A4, 8 U.S.C. 1357A5.
Would the gentleman provide copies of that for the witnesses? If you're going to cite a law, you provide a copy for the witnesses typically.
Out of order, Mr. Perry.
Two of these governors are attorneys, sir. I'm not. They should know this and I shouldn't. But I'm just asking, let's just assume that these are laws. Let's just assume I'm not lying to you, that these are laws on the books right now. Are you okay with them being enforced?
You might be asking us a lot. Governors don't get to deal in hypotheticals.
Okay, so putting myself on the, these are laws, these are current laws on the books regarding immigration and naturalization.
We abide by all of those laws.
You will abide by all these laws?
We abide by federal law.
Governor Hochul, do you abide?
State law.
We follow all state and federal laws.
Governor Walz, do you abide?
We abide by all laws.
Is there any detainer, is there any ICE detainer that you will reject, that you will instruct your law enforcement community or corrections facilities and enforcement community in your states to reject? Any one for any reason? A legal ICE detainer under the laws that I just cited?
Every jurisdiction in Minnesota follows the law.
Every single one?
Okay, and his gentleman's time's expired, but feel free to answer the question, Governor Walz.
Governor Pritzker?
We follow all laws, states.
But you don't. That's my point.
In
You
Minnesota,
actually don't.
there's
I want
a
you to
Florida
say you will, because we hope you will, but you actually don't and you haven't, which is why we have this horrific mess. I yield.
Chair,
Will we allow their witness to answer? That'd be great. Thanks.
Chair recognizes Ms. Ansari from Arizona.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much, governors, for being here. I am the proud daughter of immigrants who fled an authoritarian regime, and it is especially devastating as a first-generation American to watch Donald Trump's reckless, cruel, and radical policies transform this country into an authoritarian regime. Mr. Perry just mocked us for referring to Donald Trump as a dictator, so let's run through the list. Donald Trump has, since he was inaugurated, pardoned violent January 6 insurrectionists, dictator, defied Supreme Court orders and attacked the judiciary, dictator, unilaterally abolished congressionally chartered federal agencies, dictator, attacked the free press, sounds like a dictator, kidnapped people off of the streets and deported them to foreign prisons without due process, sounds like a dictator, defunded higher education, dictator, threatened law firms and the legal profession, dictator. This weekend, he is spending tens of millions of dollars to host a massive military parade for his birthday. Is this North Korea? On top of all of that, our twice impeached president with a 34-count convicted felony president who is not a king has deployed the active duty military in American cities, and he has spent $134 million to do so. He has their guns trained on American citizens without the consent of local authorities or the state's governor to purposefully generate chaos and provoke a reaction. Meanwhile, we have Republicans on this side of the aisle asking governors of states about bathrooms. This is the most dystopian, horrific episode of Black Mirror that I have ever seen. To our witnesses, the governors, thank you so much for being here today. I agree with my colleagues who say this is a waste of your time. You have been instrumental in fighting back against cruel and illegal Trump administration actions. I represent an extremely diverse district, one of the most diverse in the country, where more than 64 languages are spoken. I can tell you that the actions of this administration towards immigrants and immigrant communities is a blatant abuse of power, but more importantly, these steps are harming our economy and our national security. So I want to ask you a little bit about that. Governor Walz, can you share the ways in which immigrants contribute economically to your state?
Well, thank you, Congresswoman. Well, there's no aspect in Minnesota life that they're not involved, whether it's economically in the impact that they make, whether it's involved in the arts and the culture that Minnesota is very proud of, whether they're in higher professions, medical students, engineers. And Minnesota is proud to have an immigrant heritage. We set on the land of the Dakota and the Anishinaabe, and all the rest of us came through via immigration. And so the impact is widespread. It's intertwined. It may have been the Norwegians and the Swedes, then the Hmongs and the Somalis, but it's the same story, coming to America for a chance to start and then contribute to a better state.